Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and you found me on the Wise Skies channel, the Wise Skies podcast. And today we're going to be talking about August, the August astrology forecast, what's in store for you with the planets and the human design transits. There's a lot of good, juicy things coming up in August. In addition to our incredible Lionsgate Summit, where we have 6 master teachers coming to teach us August 6th through 8th. There's a lot of that juicy Leo energy still available before we shift into Virgo season. And so I have all the transits listed for you on the blog. There's a link for you for that. And I want to just get started by talking about the numerology a little bit too. And then just jump into seeing what the planets have in store to influence us with this month. So if you're new to Wise Skies, we are a metaphysical counseling company rooted in astrology. We offer elevated sessions, like one-on-one sessions. So if you want to get to know your human design, your astrology blueprint, if you want to dive into a psychic reading or get your Akashic records read, please come book a session with us. We're at wiseskiescollective.com, and we offer a really unique membership for students and seekers. And so our members get a hit of Astro Tarot, where we offer special card readings, Akashic Records readings for the members. And then we also have our student section where we get a human design workshop and then a master class from a master teacher. But August is really special because we have 6 master teachers coming. And I just want to make sure whether you're a member or not a member, if you're not a member, you can buy a ticket for $88. If you're a member, our membership is $39 a month. It's free. It's super juicy. We're going to be working with birth order, our sun in human design, and our moon strategies, like working with the moon cycle to help us kind of really design our life. So you don't have to have any background. You don't have to know your chart. We're going to have all the tools there for you and all the teachers. And I just invite you guys to check out the event in the link below. But I know you're here to talk about August. So the numerology shifts, right? We're going to be in a 5-month, in a 6-year. And the 5 is really extroverted. You know, there's a lot of adventure feeling, a lot of road trip feeling, a lot of let's get out of here and escape type of a feeling. It can be very yang, where the 6 is very yin. So where do you want to escape? But also it kind of feels like protected at home. It doesn't feel like let's go to a big music festival and rock out. It feels more like, where can I find an interesting new cave to hunker down in? You know what I mean? It's that kind of a frequency. The 5 has that free spirit to it. So my yoga teacher teaches a class, have you ever met a free spirit? And I use that as the theme of August. Have you ever met a free spirit? Have you ever met somebody that is just so free within themselves to decide, you know, their life for themselves, that doesn't take things personally, that is just kind of curious and on their own path, right? That are marching to the beat of a different drum. That can be the archetype for you to take on, the Fool card, right? In the month of August with this numerology. It's really important to stay true to your own genetic law, not the laws of society, but your own genetic disposition, right? So how free do you want to be? What do you want to be free from, so that you can be free for something else, right? So fill in the blanks. What do I want to be free from? What do I want to be free for? That's the numerology frequency for the month of August. A big headline is that Uranus is going to retrograde in Taurus, and our collective root chakra is going to be shook, right? It's like food and finance are the 2 main themes. So if you wanted to change things up, if you wanted to look at food and finance differently, this would be a great month to learn about that. Take a workshop in crypto, like understand, you know, take a workshop in gardening, just plant some seeds and see what happens. Make it like a really juicy, sensual gardening experience, like make it fun and different, make it your way. You know, you don't have to do it the way it's supposed to do. Just play around with these ideas that are just really shaking us up. You know, what does it mean to you? Food and finance, things are going to feel uprooted, a little bit upside downy, and that's okay. August it's got the 8 in it too. So I know I'm talking about a 5-6 month, but there's also the 8-8 magic of the Lionsgate frequency. And the 8s are an infinity symbol when you put them on the side, right? And so there is kind of this upside down, topsy-turvy, big magic, big risk, big reward feeling that comes along with all of the August Leo energy too. So your intention for August, I love feeling adventure by following my own free spirit. You know, where can you find joy in the journey basically this month? It doesn't have to be full of rose-colored glasses and perfect all the time. We're going to see some ups and downs, and you know, just maybe some rules are made to be broken in August, right? Follow your own free spirit. Okay, so the astrology weather, just to give you the bullet points, let's do that next. Okay, the astrology bullet points are that August 4th, Mercury is going to enter Virgo. The 11th, Venus will enter Leo. There's a full moon on August 12th in Aquarius, so that's where we can really let our freak flags fly, where the creative and insane come out. The 20th, Mars is going to enter Gemini for freaking ever, like 8 months. And we have a special workshop on and article on Mars retrograde that I will link to the video. The sun is going to enter Virgo on the 23rd. Uranus is going to retrograde in Taurus starting on the 24th. You'll feel it kind of all month shaken up. Mercury will then enter Libra on the 26th. The new moon is in Virgo on the 27th. I have something to say about that. And the rest of the transits you can find in the blog post. And before we go into the week by week of what we can expect energetically from the planets, I wanted to add a little extra secret sauce to the month of August. So I have listed out for us the human design transits. And so August 1st through 5th, the sun is going to be in gate 33, which is about retreat and privacy. So that really matches that theme of what cave do I want to go find? You know, what adventure do I want to take that leads me into the path of some privacy and unplugging and retreating? August 6th through 11th, the sun will be in gate 7, which is the impulse to go in a new direction. So it's like, okay, I've taken my cave time. I've had that hermit card experience. It's been private. I've had some time in my own aura. And now I've got the impulse to go in a new direction. Things are getting clearer to me. August 12th through 16th, the sun will be in gate 4, where there's an inner pressure. There's a correct pressure. There's a stimulation that will lead to change. August 23rd through 28th, the sun will be in gate 59, which is about bonding and intimacy. The other side of the 59 is the 6. I'm a gate 6 person, and the experience of being plugged into somebody who has the gate 59, it's that experience of co-creation. Sure, it can be sensual, but it can also just be that spirit of creativity, of birthing something new. And so 59, the gate of bonding and intimacy. It's beautiful. On the 29th through September 3rd, the sun will move into gate 40, which is all about independence and self-respect. So a lot of interesting energies coming to play if you just follow the gates of the sun. If you're new to human design, you want to get a foundational session, we would love for you to book it through Wise Skies or join our monthly HD Zooms that are free with the membership. So join the membership or get a session with us. Okay, let's look at the astrology. I just want to tell you right up front that the best days to circle are going to be the 2nd and the 18th. So circle those in August and let me know. The 2nd is when you're in the Lionsgate portal, so just be aware of that. And the 18th has its own special mojo. So let me know how the 2nd and the 18th go for you. And let's talk about the first week of August. The theme for August 1st through 7th is going to be to pace yourself, to have some of those private moments. August comes in with a bang. Mars and Uranus in the sky are right next to each other. They form a conjunction. And so those two are very explosive. And so having some personal space, I think, is going to be necessary. Pace yourself because it's a lot of energy. So, and then you've got that extroverted 5 energy. So there's a lot of action, right? And so action only comes after we've had the thought. And so I feel like that private time, alone time, time to meditate, to clear your mind, to create things will impact the level of energy that you're going to see in your life that week. So just being mindful of that. Mars and Uranus next to each other remind me of like electrical problems, fire problems, like don't leave the stove on. There's a lot of people that have had to evacuate here in Texas recently because of fires and droughts and stuff. It kind of makes me think of that type of energy, fire in the skies, random, like, or not so random, very tectonic plate, volcanic feeling, you know, physically. But then energetically, it can feel like jolts of information, which can be pretty exciting and can drain you. So just be aware that the energy is probably a lot. If you say yes to things that are incorrect for you, it's going to create a lot of burnout. You're just probably going to feel that overwhelm. But if you say yes to things that are correct for you, I think you're going to be energized and excited, right? Uranus is that energy of the roller coaster. And so the roller coaster can feel very fun and exciting and adventurous, and it also can feel scary as hell. So either way, it's your nervous system experiences it the same way. So being ready to calm the nervous system after some excitement can be another way to pace yourself that first week. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be inconsistencies. Things are going to pull you. If you think about the 5, it's like being pulled in a lot of different directions. So it's going to be important for you to know what you want to focus on. Staying hydrated. So staying hydrated, keeping your patience, keeping your wits about you. Now, I told you to circle the 2nd because there's some good chemistry mojo this week too. Venus is going to sextile Uranus and Mars. And so, you know, there's that good chemistry, that feeling of like being pleasantly surprised, if you know what I mean. It's a good financial transit too. So I don't want to scare you about the first week. Just there's a lot of layers to it. So leave room in your schedule, stay hydrated, have some alone time, and be ready to manage the big ups and downs. Be willing to pace yourself. And make sure you sign up for the Lionsgate Summit that we're having. Really want to see a lot of people there. It's so cool, all of the teachers that we have lined up. So it's a very auspicious timing, August 8th through 14th. What's going on that week is you're going to look for these auspicious moments. There's kind of this inner healing going on. The sun is going to trine Chiron. So we're entering this sacred Lionsgate temple time in our lives. Venus is going to oppose Pluto, so we're probably going to be kind of tired from it. I'm sure the first week of August will have worn us out at some level. And so being tired is actually kind of a gift. You know, when you're kind of worn out and helpless, it brings you to that point of humility, surrender, being willing to do something different, and just kind of giving up, right? Like giving it to a higher power. There can be that inner pressure can bother you this week where you like want to figure something out, but it's not quite there. It's kind of cloudy. It's okay to just let things be in the mystery realm, and you don't have to figure it all out, right? So just trying to relieve the pressure by letting yourself off the hook can be really helpful. On the 12th, this second week of August, we get the full moon in Aquarius. The intention for your full moon in Aquarius is that I'm proud of my progress and experience futuristic solutions with ease, right? Aquarius, the future-oriented sign. We see Pluto moving into Aquarius next year. I've been working on the 2023 calendar, and it's a very interesting time, right, of when Pluto has shifted from Capricorn into Aquarius. So this full moon, what are we wrapping up in terms of our groups, our networks? What are we coming to a sense of closure with? What has made us crazy that we are now totally done with, right? Put it in your full moon fire and let the crazy be basically killed, you know? Where do you want to liberate yourself from? What groups are actually hurting you more than they are helping you and creating like stinking thinking instead of pulling you forward into your purpose, right? Maybe there's something that you can really let go of and shut down. The full moon, of course, is the phase that signifies completions, coming full circle, things ending, right? It's a very natural time for us to stop, you know, to stop. It's happening in 19 degrees of Aquarius. So 19 degrees of any fixed sign in your chart this month is probably experiencing a bit of a shutdown, a planned shutdown in some ways, you know, a cosmic agreement. It's part of the template to stop something where you've got something going on in 19 degrees of the fixed signs, which are Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. I'm missing one. Sorry, whoever I'm missing. Taurus, is that you? Oh my gosh, I'm having a mind blank. Sorry for all of my professional astrologer friends. I've just had surgery 2 weeks ago and I'm still recovering. And this is my first time back cracking into the astrology of August. So I'm still a little vulnerable and fresh. But anyways, this full moon in Aquarius, right? Like this is something to pay attention to. What is a red light for you? Just let it be a red light. Just let it go. How quickly can you just be like, that's a no for me? How quickly can you get rid of that book that you're never going to read? You know what I mean? How quickly can you XYZ, stop something and not immediately start something, but just let there be peace around not this, you know? Okay, the next week we're looking at August 15th through 21st. And this is when, yes, there's some good money mojo, there's some good fresh new energy. Mars is going to move into Gemini, and so it's like, what do you want to learn? What feels fresh and interesting? Mars activates our desires and our drives and our passions and fuels us and gives us energy all the time. Where specifically? In the sign of Gemini, where it's going to be for 8 months. And it will retrograde at the end of October. So this Mars retrograde, Mars, the retro shade and retrograde, those two energies will impact us majorly this fall. So kind of this August, we're kind of just barely getting started. I think the Mars retrograde will have some more, I want to say negative impact. I'm just going to say it like that. It's going to be tougher. But Mars in Gemini doesn't have to be all bad, right? It can be like Gemini things like siblings, schools. So it can be getting a new teacher. It can be aggression at school, right? Which I think we'll see during the retrogrades. I'm not putting it out there. Let's just say a big, huge prayer and blessing for all of the schools everywhere to have peace and safety as, you know, it should be. But Gemini also rules our hands, our lungs, you know, so being proactive, Mars, about your respiratory health, being really careful with your hands and shoulders, people that have hobbies or careers where you have to use your hands, right? This is a time to take good care of them. So why did I say juicy for love and money? Venus is going to trine Jupiter this week, August 15th through 21st. So you are going to be in that time where you're like looking for new impulses and looking for those fairy godmother moments and looking for investments and kind of wishes granted feeling. And it comes after the Lion's Gate. So it feels pretty good. As long as you're going to just stay open-minded, you don't have to make any hard and fast decisions. Just stay open-minded to learn something new. Mars and Gemini, education, take a new workshop, have childlike wonder, be inspired. Mercury is going to oppose Neptune, so some of our thinking is distorted. So being willing to have kind of fresh new eyes is going to be very helpful. All right, August 22nd through 28th, there's an impulse to cultivate intimacy. Ooh, good. Now, Mercury is going to trine Pluto, and this is when you get on a fact-finding mission, like your Nancy Drew comes on, you get really curious, you hire a private investigator, you get your HR department involved, you get to the bottom of things. And so you might learn something, like if you kept your mind open the week before, there might be some new details that come to the surface that are kind of juicy and secretive and interesting, you know, to work with. It's also a really good week to work with all things Mercury and Pluto, like writing and getting into the details and reworking your estate planning, things Pluto, like taxes even, death certificates, like interesting details in things that Pluto rules. Because Mercury rules learning, and Pluto rules the metaphysical side of things. Maybe you want to take a metaphysical class. Maybe you want to watch our videos on how to read tarot cards or or the Astrology 101. They're free, they're online. If you haven't checked them out yet, maybe August 22nd through 28th is your time to sit down and gift yourself the gift of time and learning a different perspective and different self-help tools, right? Chiron and Aries, Mercury trine Pluto. This is the week that the sun moves into Virgo. So happy birthday to all of our Virgo friends that are watching. We love you. Happy birthday, Virgos. If you love a Virgo, their birthday is coming up August 23rd through September 22nd. If you want to give them a gift certificate, we would love to read for them. But make sure you give them a card or pay attention to them. Take care of your Virgos out there. So the sun in Virgo kind of shifts things from Leo, a very different energy than Virgo, right? So we're moving from like passion and play and fire and interesting like intrigue and, like massive amounts of curly hair into like a quaint bun, you know what I mean? Like Virgo style, like very clean and detailed and precise and organized. And so there might be some times while the sun is in Virgo where you want to clean out the junk drawer, where you want to get into your service heart, where you want to help take care of things, for yourself or others. Now, August 24th is when Uranus retrogrades. So the 23rd, 24th, the energy is going to be really, really slow. Give yourself space. These aren't days to like book everything to the max. You know what I mean? These are days to I don't know, just be calm, be centered, be steady with your energy. This is when I'm talking about our collective root chakra gets this like jolt of energy. It's the Great Awakener. Things are going to shift into reverse and get a different perspective about food and finances. This includes appetites and recipes and what you can eat and our own securities, our homeland securities, our what we need to feel safe, things are changing. It's a Tower card moment. Things feel uprooted, unpredictable, upside down. It's okay because it's for the purpose of building a new foundation. This sounds a lot like what the water signs got in our membership for the month of August. So water signs, I want you to pay attention to this retrograde moment too, to build a better foundation. So Uranus retrogrades like 155 days out of the year. It's not like, oh my God, this is something that like it's something that we're in the season of kind of reflecting, redirecting, rebuilding things as it occurs in the sign of Taurus. Food, finances, your body. You could start a new weightlifting program. You could re-sculpt yourself. You could work with your metabolism differently, right? It's not all like, oh my gosh, negative, crazy news and aha moments that are blasting us away. It's not, it can be subtle too. It's a regular annual cycle, and it shows how the changes that we make on the inside are reflected on the outside. So Mercury is going to move into Libra on August 26th. It'll stay there through September 23rd. So it gives us a little bit of breathing room, right? So what would also benefit from a different perspective? Libra helps us see things kind of back and forth. Libra is the best friend, the greatest partner, right? If you're down, they're up. If you're up, they're down. They try to kind of balance the energy out. The Libra energy does this. And so with Mercury in there, it's a really good time to do like checks and balances. Mercury and Libra. Do a relationship inventory. What's it like to be on the other side of you? Do a finance inventory. Is your spending out of control with your income? What needs to be balanced out in your life, right? Do a little personal inventory. I would say, Mars and Venus, the sun is going to square Mars and Venus is going to oppose Saturn on the 27th. And so that I just know that like some impulsivity is probably not going to serve you very well if you're feeling irritable, restless, and discontent around the 27th. The trick is to kind of harness this extra energy and focus it in a way that is powerful and helpful to you instead of feeling like frayed and affected by it. So some detachment magic might be helpful, maybe unplugging again a little bit, not doing stuff that triggers you, which we kind of know. Like my mentor says, some days you step in it and some days you don't. The 27th is like, watch where you step, okay? It's also a new moon in Virgo, which I love. So there's some strange astrology mixed up with this beautiful new moon in Virgo. So I've always talked about this as a house cleaning of the heart. But I've also started thinking about it in terms of your lineage wisdom. So if you want to do any ancestry work, if you want to know who you are, if you want to get into the details of your genetics, this new moon is a great time to work with that. It's a good time to enjoy finding the details in the journey of your life. There can be really cool, like there's going to be a time for you to study your lineage and your history. And so this new moon might or might be your time, but you might plant some seeds for yourself. Crystals that are really great with this new moon are going to be moss agate for peace and calming, and celestite for healing. The intentions, the wishes that you want to place, basically always it's like thy will be done, basically, is your overarching wish and intention. But the energies are influencing and helping you focus on wishes or intentions around Virgo things. So health, organization, anything that requires attention to detail or precision. The new moon in general is a fresh new start, right? So where do you want to call forth integrity and practicality and precision and constructive criticism, and trusting the process, right? There's a process that's unfolding. Can you trust it? Where do you want to call in blending the old Virgo energy, very antique, interesting, historic energy with the new moon? So calling in the old with the new. Where do you need to set up new procedures, new checklists? This new moon will help you with that. In my human design, I'm quad left. So all of my arrows at the top of my chart are pointing left. I have a great need for order, and it brings me peace to be able to orient my energy around knowing what's next. It's not a control thing. It's not it's just like part of how I manage my own energy, right? And so this new moon in Virgo really speaks to my design personally. So I love it. I love setting up new procedures, and then also having that open root feeling of like, it's going to go how it's going to go. I've set myself up the best I can, right? Okay, so what you can remove when the new moon is in Virgo are things like hypercritical, overly judgment, control stuff, analysis paralysis, things that feel really inefficient to you. It's time to kind of put those in the fires, right? So the very last little bit of August is the 29th through the 31st. So in like a lion, out like a lamb. The sun is going to be in gate 40 for the rest of the month. Interdependence, also self-respect. Where can you walk softly out of the month? Where can you tiptoe out like gently? Where can you walk softly as the month ends? What do you want to be free from? What do you want to be free for? Where can you follow your wild spirit, your own genetic makeup, your own chemistry to live a life by your design? What's next is we want to keep our eyes on a few things. So let's talk about what's next. Okay, something I'm looking at pretty seriously about what's next is that there's the Scorpio eclipse on October 25th, and then there's the next eclipse is it the November 8th one? It's right around the election, but the eclipses in October and November seem very important to be aware of and preparing for. Scorpio is ruled by the planets Mars and Pluto. Mars is set up to retrograde October 30th. So there's a lot of juice in the tank that last week of October, the first week of November. We talked about Gemini ruling the lungs, the shoulders, the hands, our schools, our teachers, the way we learn, and our siblings. And so some of us might be shifting into homeschooling or a different path with education. And that's worth noting as we are talking about this in the summer for the fall. So the fall, we're really going to be reflective on Mars and Gemini, where we are of divided mind, where we have some struggles to bump up against and have a breakthrough instead of a breakdown. Where are we at war in our own self? Some of the best advice I've ever gotten when I've been at war with myself is, honey, you just need to pray about it, make a decision, and move on. And that's like the ticket to peace. That's the solution. Just, I'm at war about this thing. I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to make a decision, best of my ability, doing the best I can. You're doing the best you can. I believe that. And then we're going to move forward. And that's the pathway to peace. So that's it. I just want to, again, invite you to the Lionsgate Summit. I am so excited about it. birth order, your sun in human design, and then using moon strategies, forget about it. It's going to be so great to work with the sun, moon, and birth order and help us all realign in a very powerful and auspicious, potent time of the year that has been used back to the ancient Mayans and all of the ancient cultures that worked with this portal of time, end of July through early August. And so please join us. Please come hang out with us. Join the membership if it feels correct for you. We'd love to have you in there. And until next time, guys, have a beautiful month, follow your design. That's how you're going to get through the ups and downs, is just following your own unique decision-making process that's unique to you, that's unique to your special aura type. So take this information and use it to your benefit, not your detriment. Take what you want and leave the rest. We're glad you're here. I know you have a lot of places where you can get this info, and just so honored that you took some time to spend it with us. So until next time, I'm Tiffany. Glad you're here. Namaste.